Hello and welcome to Attacking Third, a CBS Sports Soccer podcast. I'm Sandra, Herrera, lead NWSL writer for CBS Sports, joined today, as always, by my colleague and co-host, Lisa Roman, broadcaster and analyst for CBS Sports. On today's episode, we're introducing a special series to celebrate Pride Month here in Attacking Third, and we're going to be starting it off with a special guest interview today. But a first reminder to follow us and subscribe on YouTube for exclusive interviews and that you never miss whenever we go live at youtube.com/attackingthird. Today's special guest is the 2021 NWSL champion with the Washington Spirit, but current Angel City defender. It's Paige Nielsen on Attacking Third. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
We're really hyped to have you here on A3. It's a first time for you, so we always like whenever someone gets introduced to the show and to our audience. Let's maybe start off with some regular season chatter here with NWSL. Angel City off to a pretty good start here in the regular season. How would you evaluate your team over the month of May here?
Honestly, I couldn't have asked for better players, a better coaching staff, a better community. It's been super fun. I've been, unfortunately, on the sidelines coming back from injury, but to see our team come from the Challenge Cup and start to learn how each other plays and each other's tendencies, and to see our stadium packed full of so much energy, and every single game we come out fighting like it's the championship game. And I haven't been a part of a team with this much excitement and energy, and I think we're doing so well beyond people's expectations, but I hope we can continue because it's a long season.
Yes, it is just the beginning. It's kind of wild to think that the league is now heading into June, though. The month of May has gone by in a flash, and now we're heading into June, where Pride Month celebrations are beginning. Some clubs have already kind of kicked off some celebrations a little early, and here at Attacking Third, we're kicking off our Pride Month celebrations as well, chatting with players and athletes just like yourself all throughout the month of June. So for Paige Nielsen, what defines Pride Month for you?
For me personally, honestly, I haven't been super involved in the past, and I've been blessed growing up to have a very strong family who we love each other no matter what. And so it's not until I really started coming out with my wife and see how much impact we had on other people in the stands, people on Instagram that reach out, and how other people have a hard time coming out or not being true to themselves or not being super authentic. And for me, pride is the opposite of shame. And I think it's called Pride Month for the reason that everyone should be just super proud and authentic to themselves, and being proud of who they are also makes you a lot happier and a lot more open and human. We're all humans. We're all perfect in so many imperfect ways, and I think it's so important, one, to do as much as we can during Pride Month to celebrate who we are as people, and to hopefully inspire others that feel scared to come out or just not be true to who they are 100%.
I love that. What a great sentiment to really start Pride Month here with Attacking Third, and hearing you say those words. You mentioned this, and congratulations are in order. You got married in the off season. Huge congratulations to you. A wedding in January, right before the preseason, preparing for soccer, planning a wedding, and then you get traded to LA. But how was it preparing for preseason, getting married, and having that combo of personal celebrations and the start of a new season for you?
You guys, it was nuts. The last 6-7 months of my life have been absolutely nuts. And gosh, I've been really working on living in the present. I'm okay, today we're going to take it day by day, but winning a national championship, getting traded, I had to move my wife in DC because our lease was up the week before our wedding, planning the last bits of our wedding, going to our honeymoon, which was freaking incredible. It was everything we needed after all of that. And then coming to Angel City, it was like, I don't know, it still seems like fake to me. But I couldn't be happier to end up here, because like after getting married to my wife, and our club's all about diversity and inclusion, and I was like, wait, this is the place I'm meant to be. I think it was just so incredible. Good timing too.
I love to hear that, but the celebrations and the happiness started before. How did you meet your wife? Tell us the love story. I want to hear about this, and the proposal.
Break it down.
So the love story, I have dated in the past, and Jen was truly the one where I was like, I need to hang out and talk to you like every single second of the day. I'm very independent, and it was very not like me. She actually DM'd me. I have a picture of it. I'll send it to you later. And it just says sliding in the DMs. I was so happy being single. I was with my roommates. I was focusing on soccer. I was like, you know what? I'm not dating right now. But then I responded, because I was like, oh, she's cute, I guess. And I responded, I'm not mad about it. And then we talked a little on DMs, and I'm a terrible texter. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm a terrible texter, but she was freaking hilarious. She's from New York. She's a tad bit crazy, and she knows it. I'm from Nebraska. I'm very calm, very chill, but I was like, who is this chick? And so a couple of weeks go by, and finally one night, it was late, and I was just like a little bored, and I was like, I wonder what Jen's doing. So I was like, you should come on a walk with me at like 11 o'clock at night, and which is really sketchy. And I told her to come to our field parking lot. And she's like, no, like, I don't want to get murdered. And and so we met at like a public parking lot and tried to go on a walk. It started raining. She brought her dog. And then we were like, let's just talk in the car. We talked in the car for like 6 hours that night, the first night we met. And she actually asked me to marry her that night, and as a joke, but it was like the rest was history. The rest was history. Like she was unlike anyone I've ever met, and we fell in love pretty quick.
I love that for you. That's such a good story. I love that. I love that there's like layers of like what could be considered like some pretty heavy, like some pretty like lesbian or like gay culture within that. Like people, like we often hear like these jokes like within our community about like the concept of like asking someone like falling in love right away, or like saying like, how are we going to figure out like a living situation and stuff like that. And I love that like you're just like, you both just sort of lean into it because you both sort of just knew at the beginning. And I love that for the both of you. And something else that like I think that we hear a lot about is something like the long term or the long distance type of relationship that you sometimes go through with her being a New Yorker, you said, and like now you find yourself in a different major metropolis in LA. Is that something that you both just sort of are embracing together, just sort of this kind of like coast to coast type of kind of new generational relationship?
Yeah, I wouldn't say embracing. So we actually met the start of COVID, and we didn't know, but we lived literally 4 minutes away from each other. So we would hang out every single day. We would do all of our things, but like from 8 to 10, we would hang out and then go our separate ways for an entire year. So we got to know each other like more than anyone has ever got to know each other in a year. But this has definitely been a challenge, only because we love each other that much. We're annoyed that we can't live together at the moment, but we're also one of the best teams I've ever like seen as a couple. We understand when someone's busy. We understand like all the times we do communicate, we're absolutely like communicating with each other, trying to solve problems. She's trying to come here, actually. She's in DC at the moment.
Right.
So she's trying to navigate like quitting or working remotely from her job or getting a new job. And it's been a challenge. You know, we went to our honeymoon, everything was perfect. And then the day after the honeymoon, I flew to LA, and that was it. It was, wow. And you know, she's 6 years older than me, and I'm old soul too, but there are conversations about having kids and getting a house, and there's real, like, it's hard as a soccer player, but I do appreciate how much she understands that, and I understand her, and I understand her job, and I think that's one of the most important things in a relationship, is just like understanding.
When you're getting to know like your partner like that on a different level, these are things that like I had to go through with my partner as well. Like one of the things that maybe you share with each other is something like a coming out story. And we chatted a little bit off mic, because the truth is that maybe there are folks out there that don't necessarily have a coming out story to begin with, or are in the beginning stages of that, or otherwise. For you, when you think about it, what is your coming out story, and or what would you like to share perhaps with people who are maybe kind of struggling with their own journeys right now?
Yeah, I have to credit my siblings for not being so scary. Sometimes they are, but not during this moment. I was dating a woman at the time in college, my senior year, and I didn't tell anyone, but my family was coming out to see a soccer game at North Carolina. And it was my birthday weekend. And my girlfriend at the time put sticky notes all over my wall in the shape of a heart, about memories, about everything she loved about me, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, you know what? This is my coming out story. So I'm going to leave them up and show them my room. And so they walk upstairs to my room, and my sister is hilarious. She like started reading all the sticky notes. She's like, oh my gosh, your roommates are amazing. They did this for your birthday. At first I go, yeah, they're really great. And I was like, no, Paige, you got this. And I go, actually, they weren't my roommates. And then Sierra kept reading more, and they were like a little romantic. And she's like, wait. And I go, yeah, actually, it's from my girlfriend. And then, which was super, like, I thought it would be easier. I'm very open. I'm a hippie. I'm very chill. I'm always like, love whoever. We have a short life. Everyone's going to die anyways, blah, blah, blah. But that was like hard for me. I'm from Nebraska. No one's gay in Nebraska, or they are gay, and it's a societal norm thing not to be. And so like 30 seconds go by and she says nothing, and she's like, oh my gosh, it all makes sense now.
Wow.
And she just had a huge smile on her face, and she's like, you know what, I thought about dating my best friend back in the day. And I was like, yeah, women are just superior, I get it. But then, like, for anyone who's listening, it's not just that coming out. And then, like, I had my stepmom and family in Nebraska, which was even more scary. And everyone's like, I didn't even know what to say at first. And then all my friends, and one of my closest friends from elementary school was like so positive and so happy I was brave. And she's like, you know what, Paige, people don't change unless they have a reason to, and you gave us a reason to change. And I think it's only doing positive things in my community in Nebraska, and a lot of them still came to my wedding, and it was incredible to see.
I love that story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Paige. I really enjoyed it, and how you talked about your sister and your family and your great aunts, and having to tell those people. And it was almost like a series of coming out events, because you had to continue to tell people and share your story. For you personally, as someone who has been through that, what's your advice to those who are trying to be better allies to friends and family in the LGBTQ plus community?
I have a couple of things. things. One, it's really, really hard for someone to tear you down if you are so happy and positive and so in love. And you're like, listen, like, I love you. I love this person. If you don't accept me, I'm going to be true to myself. I'm going to live every day and hopefully give everything for like to other people. And it's really hard for people to tear you down when you're like, I don't care. Now, it's really hard to get to that point. And so the only thing I would say is like not be angry or bitter at first if people don't understand. And I think that comes from a place because I grew up in a place where we didn't see it. And I remember my friends at the moment making fun of teachers who like were maybe gay or maybe not. And so I have that understanding that it might be a shock to people. But I think like as we keep continuing on, hopefully accepting everyone who they are, like it still baffles my mind that people are affected by other people's choice or like not choice, sexual orientation, gender. It's like, well, how does that affect your life? I really don't know. But maybe it's just like how they look or something. I don't know. And just to be patient, I think being patient and as long as you're being true to yourself, hopefully people will start to come around. Yeah. And there's a huge gay, straight community out there that will love you no matter what with open arms. So
yeah, sometimes you got to find your people, and sometimes you find you. That's the truth. You know, you're someone who's has some longevity in NWSL and in the league here. You know, I know that you were initially drafted in NWSL in 2016, and the beginning of your career has taken you kind of all over the world. And as we're chatting with you about Pride Month and NWSL, what have you seen that is maybe different as a league honors a month like Pride Month now versus maybe when your pro career was just starting?
That is interesting. I think our league has grown in so many ways. I think we understand our platform we have and how we can use it to inspire and make an impact on others. And I think our league with LGBTQ is one of the best leagues to share our platform and hopefully inspire and impact people. And I think the Pride Nights are amazing. I think we are creating communities at our games where you can be authentic and the most true to yourself and feel so comfortable. It's like home for people. And I think that is like the coolest part about my job. It's like not just the soccer itself, but bringing people from all different backgrounds, diversity, whatever, identities, gender identities, sexual orientation, race. And I've seen it more and more now than ever. And I couldn't be more proud of the teams, of how they're responding to social media. Social media is crazy, cancel culture, whatever. People still have a right to their religious views, and I'm okay with that. It's okay to be like, hey, I understand that, but here's my side. Like conversations are getting going, and I think our league I'm just really proud of it.
It's come a long way. There are so many celebrations happening throughout this month, but we're going to keep the celebrations going here because Paige, you wrote a book. Congratulations. Tell us a little bit about that. It's about your mom. It's about grief. What inspired you to write this book?
Inspiration was my grief and all of my emotions that I didn't understand I was 21, but I felt like a 14-year-old trying to go through life by myself. I was so lucky and blessed that my mom pretty much made all my decisions for me. However, when she passed, I was like, holy crap, now what? And I had to deal and navigate my life I was like, what do I do? So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try writing stuff on paper and hopefully that helps. And I started really writing when I got drafted to Seattle. I wrote every game day. I wrote whenever I was feeling very emotional, which for 6 months I cried every night. I listened to videos. It was a very important moment in my life. I allowed myself to grieve, but also like come out of that. And then I started traveling to Germany, Cyprus, Spain, South Korea, and I had incredible experiences. And I was like, wait, someone needs to know these experiences. I think I was finding who I was, because I was like, I was kind of like, you know, in the image of my mom or society, and I was off by myself in different countries. I was traveling all of Southeast Asia by myself, and like navigating, like dating people overseas, soccer, life itself. I just was like, I need to put it all on paper because my mind is going crazy right now. And so I started journaling for years, and then I was like, you know what, this would be awesome as a book. I really started writing a book in South Korea because I couldn't speak English to anyone. Everyone spoke Korean, which I learned Korean, but I was like, you know what, this is my time to really like, let's do something impactful and inspirational, because I've had some crazy stories, and I hope people can connect as humans and know that like life is a journey. Like no matter who you are as an individual, as a collective, life is a journey, and wherever you head, it's not easy. And that's basically the background of my book.
So what is your book titled? What's it called?
It's called Struggle to Grace.
Beautiful.
I love that. Can't wait to read it, and for so many others to try to read it. Because, you know, grief is, besides just being devastating, it could be also like a really confusing thing for people to go through. And like, you're someone who maybe has found themselves in a position to impact others, perhaps, you know, have been told like you're a role model for some young athletes. So, you know, what advice or message would you give to young LGBTQ plus people who maybe lack support systems in their lives right now?
One, reach out. I hopefully always respond to people, and I've gotten a lot of messages saying, wow, I didn't know you were bisexual, pansexual, gay, whatever. And I was like, yeah, I haven't been out sharing it often, but yes, I am. Do you need help, kind of thing? But I think it's really important to surround yourself with people that may accept who you are, or maybe even open to those things. And finding mentors, just they're like, the longer like this goes on, Pride months and everyone being authentic and true to themselves, there are people out there that you can reach out to that will be so happy to help you. And I think that's so important. I think community and friendship and relationships are the most important thing in life. And so finding that one person that maybe can help you is really important.
Finding mentors is so important. Paige, for you, who was or is that one person that was your role model?
That's easy. My mom. She always like she didn't put us in a box like other people's like parents. She was like, you don't need a job right away. What are your goals in life? Like, what do you need to be doing for your goals? And I would try and fit in high school with like the popular group, which I did, whatever. But she was just like, but who are you? Like who is Paige Nielsen? Don't be like anyone else. And she was that, and she literally was so positive every day. People could make fun of her and she would not care. She'd be like, you know what, I am so happy with my kids. And so she was definitely a huge role model.
I'm gonna I love that. When I get asked that, I always say my mom too is my hero, let alone my role model. But when we're looking at sort of the overall scope of Pride Month, do you have any like hopes or future Pride Month celebrations down the road? Because as someone who has celebrated Pride Month herself, I've noticed that there are always like things within Pride Month that maybe the community like latches onto, that like really wants to celebrate a specific thing. And I can remember even back in the day where something like marriage equality was like really high on the list, and now that has sort of evolved into other things within the community, like being more vocal for trans rights and things like that. So what are maybe some of your hopes in future for future Pride Months to celebrate down the years?
Trans rights are very important. I think what's getting a little confusing and messy for people is gender identity, and because it's very new to a lot of people that I've spoken to. They're like, I don't get it, cis trans, like I don't like, we're born with our genitals or whatever. And I think I wish people were more open to being educated with it. So it's like we're having these Pride months, and I think we're moving that way. Like it's not just Pride Month, yay, parade, yay. It's like people are posting educational stuff on Instagram, and there are books out there about like what systemic society and institutional society was, and formed and shaped us a long time ago in the 1800s, and that there's always been gay people. There's always been people that don't identify with their like biological sex or whatever that was given to them. And so I hope that there's just more education for the future.
I love that. I think tying that in with the fact that you're someone who has also written a book to maybe where other people can try to find some comfort and some relief and also education with it. I love that all of this stuff is tied in together. And I'm thrilled that you were able to join us today. So thank you so much for being with us on Attacking Third as we kick off Pride Month celebrations. Thank you for helping us celebrate Pride Month. We always thank our listeners at the end of an episode. So thanks so much to everyone who's been following us along. You can continue to follow us on Twitter at Attacking Third for more. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and anywhere you listen to your podcast shows. We're also available as video. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Visit youtube.com/Attacking Third, and stay tuned for more Pride Month coverage at Attacking Third. For Sandra Herrera and Lisa Roman and Paige Nielsen, this was Attacking Third.